Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a new regular upload for me. We're going to be calling it Market Watch Wednesday. I did post a bit of a TikTok, just kind of bring it into fruition for you guys. Today what we're going to be talking about is what I see going on in the market and my opinion on what's going on. But before I do that, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the new subscribers that we have to the channel and to all the positive talk and questions that have been being asked. That being said, let's dive right into it. Alright guys, since my memory is crap and reciting stuff from memory is not my best forte, I got some information up here for you based upon some questions that were asked of me recently in the comments, along with stuff that's been happening in the news lately. So the first one that was asked is what is a pattern day trader here in the US? Now, I know a lot of other countries, Europe, don't really have this kind of restriction, but we have it here in the U.S., and it affects a lot of us trying to get by. So in the long and short of it, now I'll put this link in the description down below so you guys can pick up on it as well and kind of read through it if you're having trouble understanding me, if I'm talking too fast, etc. Before I read this, though, I've got to make sure that I do this in every video. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial expert. I am just a guy trying to get by, trying to make a living, and trying to support his family. That being said, please hit that subscribe button, show that like button some love, and let's start a conversation down below. Okay, so let's dive into this. It says day trading restrictions on U.S. stocks. The U.S. Secretaries and Exchange Commission, the SEC, has imposed restrictions on day trading stocks in the U.S. and stock market. These prevent pattern day traders from operating unless they maintain an equity balance of at least $25,000 in their trading accounts. That means to regularly day trade stocks in the U.S., you need to at least have $25,000 of your own capital in a trading account, meaning margin does not count. Now, recently I did have a little bit of rant the other day because I got flagged as a day trader on Robinhood, although my account closed the previous day at $28,000, and I didn't do any trades that previous day either. So I was flagged as a day trader and restricted on Robinhood for 90 days, although they're not giving me any evidence of actually making any trade history on those days that they're claiming. So go back and check out that video if you want to see more evidence of that. It was the last live stream I did. It's a little upsetting to me. That's why I'm trying to dive into this a little deeper so more people are aware of what's going on. The SEC defines a day trade as any trade that is open and closed within the same trading day. I didn't have any evidence of that. I only opened a couple trades, and I closed out a few trades that I had opened weeks back. One being a Zoom Info option call that I had active for a while that I think I pulled in, $1,150 dollars in profit. So it was a good trade for me. I closed it, but I held on to it for quite some time. So it really shouldn't have been flagged as a day trade. And I'll go over to Robinhood here in a little bit just so you can see what I'm talking about. So it says they define pattern day trading as 4 or more day trades within 5 trading days. I got this message on a Monday. It is now Wednesday, and my history doesn't show any active day trades going on. Assuming that the number of day trades is more than 6% of the total trades taken in the 5-day period, this percent stipulation isn't a factor most of the time. If you are making 4 or more day trades in a 5-day period, you will likely be classified as a pattern day trader and subject to the $25,000 equity balance to day trade. Now, the way Robinhood works is you have to have $25,000 in equity in your account the previous day market close. So if you closed at 24,900, you couldn't day trade the next day. But you closed that day above 25,000, you could day trade the following day. So it's a little tricky, especially each exchange is a little different. And again, I'm pretty upset with Robinhood flagging me as a day trader, even though I don't have any history of making any day trades. I can show you that real quick here. So here's my account at Robinhood. I'm down a little bit. Holding a number of stocks. We'll talk about those later, why I'm holding them and what I'm investing in. But if we scroll over here, okay, let's see, it might have disappeared on me. Limits and placements, so if I go over to my account history, now if you scroll down to the bottom, if you're a Robinhood day trader, and I have dividends enabled and all that stuff, and this is the past week, and there are no trades being made or flagged as day trades, yet I received an email and a notification on the platform saying that I was restricted for 90 days for pattern day trading, even though I am not clearly a pattern day trader. I've been holding a lot of my positions, waiting for them to become profitable and then closing out. I'm a strong believer, especially when you're holding options, that potentially, as long as you hold, you don't lose. Options are a little differently. You have an expiration date, so you hold too long, and then in the negative, you lose. But for options, you can hold on to them. If it's a good company, say Coca-Cola, AT&T, Johnson & Johnson, some of these blue chip companies, you could hold on to them forever. So that's kind of my stand on Robinhood and what I've been hit with as a restricted pattern day trader. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are, whether any of you out there have experienced the same thing, whether it's a ploy by Robinhood to restrict some of our trading activity based upon what's going on with Wall Street Bets, AMC, GameStop, and so on. Now that I've brought up those names, Wall Street Bets, GameStop, and so on, another one that's been coming up lately, especially if you're holding AMC like I am, is the talk of a short squeeze, a short ladder attack. Now, a short ladder attack is typically done between large funded accounts, either hedge funds or large funded individuals, and they work together as a team. And, typically what they do in this short ladder attack is they take, say, 500 shares, 5,000 shares, whatever it may be. It doesn't really matter the number. It's the frequency in which they are trading them. So they're trading them back and forth between the two accounts in rapid succession, which tricks the trading algorithms, which tricks the market into thinking that the price is dropping. And you get that drop in price that we saw in AMC. Potentially, that's what happened to AMC. I don't know. I'm not a hedge fund guy. I don't have access to their statements or the trading, anything like that. I'm just going upon my research and what the market is dictating. Now, the trade volume was low for the drop that we saw, so that to me indicates that we're seeing a short ladder attack. Rapid succession of the same stocks going back and forth between accounts, dropping the price slowly. As the price drops, they have a better opportunity to execute or to close out some of the short option trades that they have made at a better profit or less of a loss for them. That's the whole potential behind the short ladder attack, is that as they drive down the prices because they've shorted the stock, now they have a better opportunity to get out of those options, out of those short calls. I hope that helped. It's still a little confusing to me. Like I said, there's so much involved in trading. There's so much involved in different strategies and different terminology. I get a lot of my information from a site called Investopedia. I'll put a link in the description down below. It's a great site if you're a beginning trader. It's a great site if you're, an avid trader. If you're just, you're not so sure about anything and you need a little bit of reassurance, that's where I turn to as Investopedia. Also, there's always, you can always reach out to the community. I do have a new Discord server that I've started. I'll link that in the description down below. You can also find me on Twitter. You can find me on Reddit. And, let's get the communication started. What I want to start doing is once the community gets a little larger, I'd like to do live voice chats on Discord and just get everyone's opinion and, like a weekly update other than just these Market Watch Wednesday videos. So hopefully that'll help you guys out. Now let's dive a little deeper into the market and what I got going on and why I'm holding. So let's go back and take a look at my Robinhood account now that you guys officially know my name. So I talked about it briefly. I'm going to go through my holdings one at a time. Now, this isn't my only trading platform. Currently, this is the only one that I'm this active in. I do have brokerage accounts with Webull, and I just opened up one with TD Ameritrade. I also have, been trading a little bit on Cash App. So until I try, my brothers have suggested I give that a shot. So I'm experimenting with a number of different platforms. I've had E-Trade account for, 12 years now. Maybe longer than that, God. So I'm experimenting with a number of platforms. I'm curious to see what platforms works best for you guys. I'm very particular on how I like my platforms to look and how I like them to operate and execute trades. Am I happy with Robinhood? No, not at all. Is it getting by? Yes, it was one of the first exchanges that I joined that had zero commissions, or so they claim to have zero commissions. But as that developed, more and more brokerages are offering zero commissions like TD Ameritrade and so on. So let's dive into my account and take a look. So I have a couple call options right now. One for AMC. I have 5 options, 5 call options. Total value to me was $5,200. It's up a little bit today, 9%, which is great. The higher it is, better chance I have a closing in the profit. I did buy these at 2 separate times, so I have an average value. I bought, 2 contracts back on the 27th, and I bought another 3 on February 1st. So it's an average cost to me. Average cost per share, $10.41. So I have to get above that to break even show a profit. I'm going to hold on to them. I have these out until March, so I don't have to execute them right away. So I gave myself a little bit of time. Whenever I'm buying options, I'll pay a little extra, and I'll stretch out that time frame, just so I have a little bit of a cushion, a little bit of a buffer. I'm not worried about paying interest. I know that people are going to say, "What about the deltas and the gammas and all the thetas?" I'm not so worried about that. I'm more worried about protecting my asset. So if I can stretch out the expiration date on some of these contracts, I'm going to. And some of these contracts I do execute, on a day-to-day basis, but I like to go out a couple weeks, couple months, and so on. So those my calls for AMC. I also have a very long call for AT&T, ticker symbols T. Now I bought these about 500 contracts for 9 cents, and I got them at such a great deal because I bought them out of the money at the time, and I bought them. You'll see their expiration date is June, so I have quite some time to fill these. I've only ever seen them dip in the red a couple times since I've had these contracts. It's been consistently up, and I have a feeling that as things progress, as we get closer to the summer, as hopefully the pandemic ramps down, AT&T will go up a little bit. So there's my holdings for AT&T. Now I have a few holdings in a couple stocks, and I feel differently about investing in stocks than I do options. I feel that dependent on the company itself, whether it's a strong blue chip company or a company that has good structure behind it. You could potentially hold on to those companies for years. So yes, they may be in the negative now, they may be in the red, they may be down, however you want to say it. You only lose if you sell. I know, only lose, if you sell or the company goes bankrupt. I'm not going to invest in a company that I feel is going to bankrupt. I wasn't a strong believer in Hertz. I didn't invest in Hertz. These are companies that I feel have a good rebound, whether it's because of Wall Street bets and the pump behind AMC and GameStop and Dogecoin, or the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic, and once the pandemic is over, people are going to be flocking to get out of their homes and to socialize again and go to the movies. And I can't wait to be able to take my kids to the movie theater. I love going to the movie theaters. I'm a huge movie buff, and not being able to take them to the movie theaters is kind of a drag. My son, I've taken him a couple times, and he constantly asks me, when can I go back to the movies, Daddy? When can we go back to the movies? So I have strong hopes for those stocks to return over time. If it pumps in the next couple of weeks, power to it. I'm all for it, but I'm going to hold for the long term. So that's why we see 400 shares of AMC, Nokia. You can't destroy Nokia. Nokia phones have always had that mentality of being indestructible. I think it's a great company, not just because Wall Street Bets is talking about it. I've held Nokia and traded Nokia for a number of years, not just recently because of Wall Street Bets. I have a strong feeling that Nokia is going to make a rebound in the tech world. So that's why I have Nokia. I'm holding on to 750 shares, I believe. Yep, 750 shares. And my last but not least is BlackBerry. Now, I bought BlackBerry as a short contract and executed it, so I ended up buying the 100 shares. And slowly over time, what I've been doing is dwindling down those 100 shares. Every time I see a profit, I take a little bit off the top and so on. So that's why I'm down to my last 10 shares of BlackBerry. And I'm just going to hold on to them, see where it goes, and hopefully we'll show a little bit more of a profit. Now, one thing that I do that I recommend that other traders do is start a trading journal, whether you do it in a spreadsheet or you do it pen and paper in a notebook like I do. It helps. It helps keep track. It helps the memory. It helps make sure that you're meeting the goals that you want to meet trading or investing. So I always recommend that. Journal it, take notes, like I said, Excel sheet, handwritten, like I do, whatever works best for you. So let's, now that we've taken a look at my portfolio and we've talked a little bit about short squeezes and short ladder attacks, I'm going to change gears a little bit here and talk a little bit about cryptocurrency briefly. I'm a cryptocurrency miner. I have a number of miners that I own. I have only a couple running right now. Like I've told other people, and I've helped a couple of people set up recently. I'd love to turn on more of my miners. I'm just not so sure the old house that I'm renting, power supply can handle it. I currently have two L3s running updated firmware along with a T9 all minor ASIC miners from Bitmain. Now, they are. I can only run the L3s together at the same time, or I can only run one L3 and the T9. So I can't run all three miners at the same time. And I've tried to break up the power usage across a couple breakers, and I have a couple surge protectors built in, so I'm not popping the breakers on the surge protectors, but I'm popping them on my. Sorry, I'm not popping them on my electrical box. I'm popping them on the surge protector, so that's a little bit safer bet for me. I'd rather not push this house's electrical wiring. Like I said, it is an old house. But what I did recently, and shout out to everybody reaching out to me on Discord and all the questions that are being asked on YouTube. I did pick a random individual, and I pointed one of my L3 pluses at him. Now, currently, that L3 plus that he's got pointed at his pro hashing account is pulling in an average of 690 mega hash per second. Now, again, this is an L3 plus with updated firmware. I cannot tell you how happy I am with this firmware. Now, the firmware that I'm using, and I'll dive into this deeper in another video if you'd like. I got this firmware from asicfw.io. Great company. They have updated firmware for a number of the Bitmain units, ASIC units. T9 has it. My T9 has it. My L3s have it. My S17, whatever it is, it has it. So it's a great firmware, and the reason why I like it so much is it gives you far more control than the original firmware that it comes with out of the box. Now we can dive into that a little bit. I don't want to go too deep into it. I know this video is running a little long, but it refreshes every 10 seconds automatically, and the configuration file or miner configuration has a lot of different options. Now right now, the machine that I have pointed at somebody else's pool, and they're collecting the hashing power and the rewards on it, I got it auto-tuned to 680 mega hash per second, and at that rate it goes into an auto-tune, and it comes out at the end of the tunnel with 690. Now my other L3 that I have running is a little older. It is my test bench machine. It's been beat to crap, and I've tried a number of configurations on it, but the highest I've gotten out of it is 681. So 670 to 681 is the most I've been able to get out of it so far, and they're running similar configurations. But I've got to say something here that's blown my mind. Now, I thought I had a number of dead chips on this particular miner. Running this firmware, the Bliss firmware said I had a number of dead chips. And I was like, okay, I had this thing immersed for a while. It was, a water-cooled machine. I've taken it apart, put it back together multiple times. Okay, it's got a couple dead chips. I'm not super worried about it, right? After I installed this new firmware and it did the auto-tune, and now we can go into the auto-tune here. You can actually see the individual chip frequencies. Now it will automatically go through each board, through each chip, and tune each specific chip for the most optimum hashing power. And I have no complaints. I have no dead chips. It was able to bring those chips back to life using alternative frequencies, and it's a phenomenal. I can't talk highly enough about this firmware. So if you have ASIC machines, check out this firmware. Check out the site. It's asicfw.io. Love them to death. Love them. Now that I've gone through my miners again, I wanted to just one last time for anybody that is mining, be careful trading cryptos on Robinhood. You're not actually holding any cryptocurrency. You don't have a physical cryptocurrency wallet. You don't have a physical cryptocurrency private key for that wallet. It's not like Coinami or Coinbase or some of these exchanges or Crypto.com. All these affiliates are down below if you're interested in them. Plug. Just be careful. Be careful. Right now, most of my miners the miners that I have running are either mining and being paid out in Dogecoin or Ether, Ethereum. So the great thing about pro hashing, I can point my script miners at a profit or pro switching algorithm for script, and it's going to automatically mine the most profitable coin in the script algorithm and pay me out accordingly. Now I've chosen my payout to be either Doge or Ethereum, I love it. I can't, it's a great setup, easy setup. If you guys have any questions, I've helped a couple people get set up on pro hashing. I've helped a couple people get set up with a couple of their miners. I'm more of an ASIC miner type guy. I have a couple rigs that I've burnt out with GPUs. Maybe I'll build one in the future, but as of right now, I'm primarily an ASIC miner type guy. And I'm curious to know what you guys think, what you guys are mining, what you're looking for in a miner, and so on. Again, guys, I appreciate all your time. I appreciate you stopping by and watching the videos. Share the love, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join the conversation, Discord, Facebook, Twitter. Reach out to me, talk to me. I want to know what you guys are doing for investments, what your side hustles are. If you're just solely an investor, if you're just trying to be a day trader, if you're doing side hustles on the side that are kind of out of the norm and you're profitable at it, share with the community. Let's get the conversation going. But until next time, guys, enjoy life. Have a good one.